Right. I got it. Go away. Okay. Life. Okay. I know. I knew. I am live. I get it. I'm sort of having a very bad day, but I figured that I can actually do something. And that is basically I can search through the past files on the computer to basically see which ones I've accessed and stuff. Problem is that I've been doing work and stuff. So what was it called? Just populating the list and all that stuff. Aha. So, okay. I think the last art class was pretty good. We dealt with 2 topics, just the very, very basics of those 2 topics, but apparently it helped, and I'm looking forward to basically following up and seeing how that works. 42. Let's try 103. I'm just gonna have to open these manually and find it. That's not it. That's a semi. That's a. It's a wrong thing I've just done. There it is. God, that didn't take long. And now I've got something in my eye. As is tradition. I know I'm talking to myself right now because nobody's here yet, but does anybody remember the South Park episode where they go to Canada? Go to Candy. They go to Canada and basically there's a bunch of tradition for they go to Canada for the Canadian royal wedding, which isn't a thing. Can I close? There it is. Okay. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. And I screen share. I screen share the window. Okay. Look at the preview. Preview. How are you doing for power? You're gonna die. Right. If you're gonna die, then I should probably give you some power. While nobody's here. Just blip it. Fun. Now, how are you doing for power? You're on 31%, you're on 12%, so you needed power, which you're getting. You are fine. You are fine. Okay. Itchy ear. That's a new one. Right. Whole picture, good. Yep, on that side of the screen, everything is working out fine. I just had to plug in. That's good. So how long does that take? And yet off screen, I was looking for that file for fucking ever. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna just cancel this today. But then I was like, brainwave. What if I look at the recent files that I've accessed and just, you know, kind of cross off which ones in my head I've done and stuff. The problem is that basically I've got like 3 sorts of art files on my computer, and if you look really closely, you can see at the top of the page that on top of this window. Oh my god, with the yawning. Yeah, at the top of the window, you can actually see the name of the file, and it's a number. And I haven't assigned anything to this, although I should just like call it grade C or D or something. Because category A is work stuff, so basically for all the stuff that I do for work, basically concept art and stuff. That's basically a number, and then, well, no, it's a letter, and then it's A, and then a number, and the number's usually random. For furry stuff and for commissions, basically it's category B, and that means that basically it's B in the number, and then basically we've got this stuff, which is kind of work. I didn't know exactly what to put this as, so it's got like no number, no letter, so it should be C or D, I think. There's another category somewhere, but I can't remember what that was. I think that's just like not commission work or my own work or something. It's kept in a different folder, so I can't remember. Oh god, I can't remember if it actually has a letter or number or whatever. So yeah, there's that. Okay, eye stinging and yawning all at once. I'm kind of waiting for somebody to jump in on the chat and stuff. Why have I got a line work? Is that something that I was going to do? Or line work for some reason? Weird. Okay. Okay. So last time I was here, we worked on perspective, and we worked on. My God. I think it might actually be snowing outside as well. So my luck is just super awesome. Because I can hear something, and it doesn't sound like rain. It sounds like precipitation, but it doesn't sound like rain. I don't have my eye spray either. I'll have to actually go in the house and get it. Sorry about the dead air. I'm just thinking. Having a moment. Having a moment. This cable's going to be annoying. I don't know what to do with that. Oh no, I do. I'll just turn this side. Feeling kind of lonely all of a sudden because I've turned my TV off and my phone off and everything. So that's probably what's triggered the yawning. Because I am a bit tired in all the senses. So yeah. Okay. What to talk about? What to talk about? What to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. But we have right portions. I think it's just working on layout now, so this will probably take a while. Wrong color because I've been using something else. So should we just continue with this color instead? I think we'll do that. What's with the line work? What did I do with the line work? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. So bin that for now. I will make another layer. I think the line work for this is already done. I don't think that I need to do anything for this. So we're going to add detail to. I don't know why this is all like that. I don't get it. Huh. Is that the right color? Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I need to do any more detail to this one, but I just realized that I've done something over here for the wings. Where's my? Yeah. I think there might be like guidelines for the feathers and stuff that I'm going to put there. I am going to add like feathers and layers to this. This is like the big project, but I've already got an idea for the secondary project, and the secondary project is something that I'm going to enter into the art competition for the sci-fi convention that I go to. So just zoom into the wing a little bit, and basically figure out. I'm just going to figure out where like certain lines are going to go for. These lines are good. I know they're just construction lines, but these are going to come in useful later for when we do the painting and stuff, because I'm actually going to use. I'm going to go for full-on like painting like technique for this picture, so we're not going to actually have a line layer, and this is hard for me because I'm usually doing stuff that requires line work and ink and stuff, or at least digital ink, you know, for concept art and for furry art and stuff. But because this is less cartoony and more painting, it's going to be no ink, so this is going to be a bit hard, but it's going to be fun hard, so hopefully, anyway, because I've not done a painting on the computer ever, so we're going to figure this out, and I will need this for later on when I do my secondary project, which is going to be entering the art competition. So yeah. Hey Itchy. Hey Itchy. I need hugs. I've had a rough day, like super rough day. And I've only just found this picture after looking for it for like an hour. So yeah. So yeah, we're putting all the guidelines in for the paint. So this is going to be layouts, like I normally do layouts, but only this time we're going to do special layouts. So yay, fun. How are the techniques that I taught you. I told you about the week before last, because there was no lesson last week because I was busy. Have you had a chance to actually use them? Do you need anything else that you need a course on or anything? So I think we're going to start while you're typing. If you're typing, you don't have to talk to me, but it's just nice. I'm going to be adding lines. This is the right color. It looks the right color. We're adding lines to this. So it's going to be. And these are just guidelines for the brush later. So basically, I'm going to end it here and have another layer. Because I don't know if anybody's looked at bird wings, but bird wings are the insides of them are very layered, and they normally have like a very thick, thick wings, thick feathers. Jesus. Yeah, very thick feathers, and then they kind of taper off to smaller feathers in layers and rows, and we're going to do big feathers here, so bigger lines. Again, it's just kind of like layout, so I'm not super worried about detail. It's just layout for where the brush is going to go. It's been helping. I've only done like 2 doodles since then, but yes, I'm learning to implement depth. Ooh, depth. I normally add depth when I do texturing and shading and stuff. It's like, what do you mean, like depth in like landscapes and stuff? Because that's different. It's like, all I can think of is a cave right now. When I think of depth, I'm just like, the first image that comes to my head is just a cave. Somebody's talking to me while I'm in a lesson. Not what I want. I've already got 2 layers of feathers here. Although this is slightly wrong. Oh, this is going to be a shaded area. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so I'm just going to do another layer. So what do you need about depth? More so in like proportions and depth, like that dog's front paws versus the back. Oh, you mean like proportions and implementing proportions and perspective. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. It's like choosing. All I can think of is an analogy between kind of like drawing and filming and film lenses and stuff and how they work and everything. And I actually did a picture. I actually did a picture when I first got this. When I first got this app. When I first got the pad. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's wrong. It's a super wrong picture, and I kind of don't like the look of it. But because I was just messing around with the paper. But let me see. So I'm using the pen instead of the cursor, and it's kind of fucking with my computer a little bit. The dog's paws versus the back paws. Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't do this picture. I basically this positioning of the dog and the proportions come all the way from a different picture completely. Did I put in art? Yeah, there it is. Ew. See, it looks a bit freaky. I tried to, I was basically just drawing an eye. Again, this is when I first got the picture, when I first got the pen and everything, and I was just testing out my flexibility on like the, you know, how easy it would be to pick up the pen and actually transfer these skills to the paper and stuff. And as you can see, I tried to make it look a little bit fisheye lens, so it's kind of like it kind of adds depth that way. But that was just something that I was just messing with. So in other words, it's kind of like a wide angle lens. So what you do is basically things that are closest to the camera, you make big and exaggerate them, and you just kind of like, I've done this with like curvature as well, like an actual lens. I'm trying to tell you, forgive me if I kind of like mumble up how I'm describing this, but as you can see with this picture, I basically made everything that I thought that was going to be in the middle of the page and what was going to be really close to my eye or the camera, really close, and I basically just made everything else smaller. So this is an incredibly exaggerated version, because like I said, this file is actually called fisheye, because that's what I was trying to replicate. So I made everything small the further away that it got from the eye, in both senses. So if you were the camera, then basically the things that are further away from you got smaller. As you can see with the eye, and it is slightly bigger in proportion to the nose. Only slightly though, because the nose and the eye were close together, and the ear is really tiny and it's all the way at the back. And you can see that it's kind of like it's small. I also tried to do the eye smaller on the other side, but also wanted to get the curvature right. So yeah, so what you do is you basically make objects bigger the closer they are to the camera, and I'll try to do that practically with the new layer. Forgive me, doggy. So like you basically would be drawing, say you're drawing, can you see this okay? So we've got kind of like just a super basic sketch of like of a park with a very, very typical lamppost just there. So this is a very, very no depth. It's no depth. It's a very, very basic representation of just like a path and like a tree and a bench and a lamppost. And this is no depth at all. This is very, very 2D. It's like you're looking at it from far away and stuff. You see that okay? I can see on my preview, but my preview is a bit small. So yeah. So if you want to do this in 3D and basically make it have depth, then you can use the perspective lines. Like I'm going to try to, you could use like a perspective points, like one there, and instead of doing it, I'm trying to connect them, but I'm gonna make them curved, so you can make them kind of like stretched, if you know what I mean. And all you got to do is basically place your items on this line, in this curved line, and we're going to look down on the path. So we're going to make this line itself the actual path. Again, super basic representation. So I did this super quick. So basically, it's yeah. So we've got a bench is in the middle, so we want it to be close up, and we're going to make it 3D. And again, you can use the perspective lines to basically like line it up with these. So it's kind of like, if there's imaginary lines between these, so like straight lines there and there. Just imagine these lines are straight. Okay, so you got two straight lines there, and then another curvy line at the top to make the top bench. Now I'm going to just get rid of these because I can imagine these, and these will affect the drawing later. So just imagine their lines, or do them in pencil if you're doing these practically and not on the computer. So imagine this line is basically the basic, that's the guideline between your two perspective lines. So we've got like the base of the bench. Again, incredibly basic representation. And looking slightly down. So we've got that, and that's close up. So we've got a big bench. So then we do the tree, and we do it slightly further away. It's a bit too thick, that tree. I'll just erase that line. We do it slightly smaller than we have drawn it in the flat representation. And then we've got the lamppost, and it's also slightly further away. And I was bending it just now to the perspective line. And again, we're going to make it 3D, and I'm just imagining lines coming out of that. And we've actually got the path. So there you go. You've got a basic representation, and then you've got like the actual park, and you can even add a horizon line, so that it's more in keeping. So there so you've created some kind of depth already, and it basically is like a slight fisheye effect, because imagine if you're imagining this path as being straight, then you're slightly up above it. So all you got to do is basically add objects that are slightly like the things that are at the front of the picture, or the oh fuck, what is that called? I was going to say shit, I swore. I think this channel is going to be just I'm going to swear, you know. I do not care about language etiquette on this channel. Yeah. Yeah. Things that, I mean, this is all background, but you could make this background, foreground. There we go. Things in the foreground basically are going to be bigger than things in the background. So I mean, that's just a very, very easy thing to do it. When you're doing people, then you also have to imagine where the camera is going to be, or where you can see the object. And most of the time, it's just going to be a flat representation, very much like this. So if we had a person in the picture, then we've got like big-headed person, but yeah, we've got a big-headed person here, and basically, and because of the depth that you're going to get with this, we're slightly higher up. We're just above eye level with the picture on the bottom. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to have him have even a bigger head, and then you're kind of going to curve him slightly to this line, and that means you can have his shoulders kind of line up with this, have his torso kind of tapering down on a human, on a regular human, not a fat person, and then you're kind of going to have his legs be slightly smaller as they reach the ground, and then you're going to do his feet. So there you go. So you got like an alien guy here, but it's super easy when you add perspective lines, and if you know if it's going to be curved or not. When you curve the perspective lines instead of making them straight, then it's usually because you've got a slight fisheye effect, and I mean it's good for like anime. A lot of anime uses that and stuff. So yeah, I mean it's fun. It's fun to draw anime. It's a lot more fun than doing just flat like two-dimensional stuff. When I was an illustrator, basically all I did was just mostly flat illustrations and stuff, so I didn't really need to use the fisheye effect or the curvy effect or anything like that. And it makes it slightly less interesting, but then again, it was illustration for children books most of the time, so it was like, eh. So yeah, is that helpful, or like, do you need specifics? You said proportions with people, but I mean, this is basic depth. You know, it's basically just plan out the stuff that you want to do in 2D, and then draw it as if you were just making it 3D. And essentially, when you do that anyway, then you'll find that you've already kind of done it in a way. For example, if I basically wanted to not do a fisheye, let me just try another example. So we've got this here, and let's say that we are, you know, the camera is over here, and it's kind of like looking slightly down the path. Then a simple representation is you can put your horizontal line. You can put your perspective line way over here and basically have the path and go off like this. So the camera is looking down the path. And this is very simple. You've just got like the tree. I've got the camera slightly elevated again. So you've got the tree. Just a very, very simple tip. If you want to draw flat 3D roses, then all you got to do is basically draw a spiral, but very, very quickly. And it looks like a rose. So when I teach kids how to draw, that's one of the fastest lessons. But yeah. So I was just like, oh, I've got to share this tip, and I keep sharing this tip. So yeah. Then you draw the bench slightly smaller. I don't know why I've done it so far away. In fact, I'll make it closer to the tree. It's going towards the horizon line. The horizon line? No, not the horizon line. The perspective point, dummy. So all of the right angles are going. All of the horizontal lines are going to that point. So yeah. And then you've got your person who's slightly smaller still than the bench. Well, small in relative position to the bench. And then you've got the lamppost, which can be a teeny lamppost if you really want it to be. So yeah, using perspective, you can actually very, very easily get to, see, so as you can see here, everything's fairly regular sized. It's all very flat, but if you are the camera here, which is what we're looking at here, then the tree's big, and the bench is smaller than it's depicted there. The person is a tiny bit smaller as well than the bench is depicted there, and the lamppost is teeny. And you can add a horizon line even to this, and you can even cut it through what you've done there and just kind of like get rid of that. And look, there you go. That's helpful actually. Okay, so you got a quick crash course in how to do things both in a slightly stylized anime-ish way and a very, very basic representation, kind of like 2D flat, no fisheye lens way. My voice is really shitty tonight. Have you noticed that? Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Do you need me to explain anything else? Just while I can, super quick. What was I doing? Oh, we were going to make another layer. So I'm going to hide this layer. Bring back the Doog. The douche. And I don't want to mess up anything to do with his hair because I think that's perfect. So I'm going to leave that like it is. But I've created a new layer because I'm actually going to do the background. So zoom the way out. Now, in the vaccine universe, which is basically the story universe for this, that should be good for now. Like any time, dude. Again, if you want more tips, then basically just let me know. Like, and the rose one is just for free because, well, it's fun. See, it looks like a rose. Yeah, right. Background. Why is with my phone? Just when I'm busy. When I'm busy, people want me. I don't understand that. Now, the Wolven Toaxians basically lived on cliffs, and they just do. It's just very easy. They don't need shelter. That's the cool thing about the Wolven Toaxians. They never needed shelter. Even so, they're more intelligent than they're more intelligent than the humanoid Toaxians, and yet they never needed shelter. They never needed the need for any tools. They basically are just clever creatures, and yeah, it's fascinating, really, because they just lived on cliffs and in big fields on Toaxia. It was awesome. So I don't know whether to put them in a field. I don't know whether to put him in a field or if I should put him in on a cliff. Maybe a field on a cliff. Overlooking the sea. I like that actually. That's cute. Super bed is cute. Plus, see, I don't have to do much detail on stuff, and I know that sounds lazy, but I kind of want to do this so that I basically can get onto my next project, because, like I said, my next project is the entry for the sci-fi convention I go to for the art competition, because I found out that I can actually enter it, so that's cute. I think we're going to do Cliff. I think we're going for Cliff. So plus it would just look cool. Better than cute. So I have like grass kind of going over the edge of the cliff here. And just kind of like petering out as it comes up to the camera. Then we have just a hard line here, and then I'm going to do various stuff to make that look cliffy. We're going to work on textures later with the paintbrush. Again, I'm dreading that because I've never done this on this app, on this piece of software before. So it's kind of I'm trying to draw out the layout portion as much as I can. Right. So we're going to get rid of the doggy for a second. Bink. Doggy. And we're going to have like, it's going to be flattened grass. I need him back. So it's going to be flattened grass around him. I don't know what to talk about while I'm doing this. I could just talk about the picture, but you know, lame. I kind of feel this is a bit lazy. Should I just have like a couple of stones or something? I'm gonna get rid of the doggy again. Pink. It's so cool that I can do that with this app. So we've got like a bit of a tuft of grass here, and the flattened grass is going to be here. Again, no ink. We're all going to do this with paint. So it's going to be interesting trying to get like different kind of textures and stuff. Maybe a feather. Maybe we'll do a feather, like really close up. Just one that's come off of him or something. And it's a Traxian feather, so basically it's like they're not like, it's an alien. Remember this, guys. It's an alien. So it kind of looks like a leaf. It's got a long strand of basically hair that then tapers off into kind of like a feather. So that's what's going to be. Another smaller one here. Okay. The humanoid Toaxians actually have that. The closer that you get to their spine on their back, they do have a spine. Basically their hair goes from just being normal hair to slowly becoming kind of feather-like. It's just the way that the hair follicles evolved on this planet, it seems. Fun fact, it's not actually their original home planet. Taraxia is not the original home planet. Their original home planet was called Terrakia, and it blew up. I could go in with the story with that, but yeah. It kind of looks like a grass, kind of like a grass seed, you know. You find those that just enjoy watching the process. Okay, well, as long as you're cool with that, I think we're going to do another tuft of grass here. I think that might interfere with the wings. Super rough, remember, because we're doing the we're doing all of this with paint. I'm still really annoyed at this. It's like, why am I torturing myself? But no, I figured that we would do this so that we can learn together. It'll be a good learning experience for me, and for anybody that's new to this program. I'm just putting a couple of pebbles. I know pebbles aren't usually found on top of cliffs. They're usually found on the bottom of cliffs, but I'm putting a couple of pebbles. If I really want to, I can change them into rocks later. I'm going to put a rock here. Where's the wing tip going? Over there. So there's not really much space for another rock. Yeah. Fair enough. Bink again. For the background. We're going to have the horizon line. It's going to be the sea. So it's going to be fairly straight. I know that doesn't look fairly straight, but it's going to be. So yeah. Hey, Jeffers. It's okay, dude. We're basically just getting the layout sorted for the background. Nothing too strenuous. So I'm just trying to straighten this line out a little bit. It's a little hard to do. I've mentioned this before when you guys see me do the furry art, but it's very hard to do horizontal lines on the pad without rotating the pad. But since this is kind of just the sketch and where things are going to go with the paint, it means that it's not going to be, you know, it's not that bad. I'm not that fussed just yet with it. You know, basically, if this was going to be the final product, then yes, I will rotate the thing like this because I've got a button that can do this. I did notice that Itchy just called you Jeffers. So he's going to go there. Background's going to be here. Got a nice cliff. Now, we may have issues because Sky is very easy to do when it's just a cartoon. But when it's an actual painting, you've got to figure out your sky. What kind of sky am I going to do? Is it going to be kind of like a Rene sky? Is it going to be kind of like who's that famous artist who painted like famous battle scenes in like the 17th or 18th century? Who is that? Who was that guy? Oh, he did a bunch of paintings around London, London docks and the ocean and stuff. Oh my god. Names, guys, names. I've got all the pictures just flashing in my head right now, but I wouldn't even know where to look for them because I can't remember his fucking name. Oh my god! Painted that famous picture of the battle. I can't remember the name of the battle even. Oh, do you guys know who I'm thinking of? I don't know if you know who I'm thinking of. He did a really nice sky, is my point. Very simple, a very nice, very beautiful sky, because this guy basically he painted what he was told to paint, and he basically didn't like painting the he didn't like painting the ships and stuff. He was very, very more focused on the naturalistic world and stuff. So he would paint the ships and everything. He'd go off with his sketchbook and basically sketch all the stuff he needed. But then he would create the sky that he thought that would be amazing in this picture. So, like, the sky never looked like this, but it looks fantastic, and it's very, very simple, it's lovely. And I'm trying to remember the name of the guy, but I can't. I'm sorry. Like I said, famous 17th or 18th century painter, English painter. Did a bunch of naval, nautical paintings and stuff. Ugh. But yeah, if I want that kind of sky, or if I want a Rene sky, or I want a it's not going to be Van Gogh, because he well, as you guys know, he did the he pioneered the whole expressionism movement. He was one of the first painters to do that. So basically, he was good at realism, but essentially he was incredibly good at basically capturing his feelings in his paintings and stuff. Except for, of course, his blue period, which was just blue. So we do have another issue, but I don't think it's going to be an issue, especially if I'm going to do clouds, which I plan to do, because working out the brushes and stuff. And the issue would be that basically the planet has rings that glow. I know, it's alien worlds, guys. Alien worlds. Clouds. We're going to do clouds, so it's going to be clouds. Vanilla. There's the famous Vanilla Sky guy, who basically, who was made famous in the Vanilla Sky movie. I'm trying to remember all the names of different painters, and for some reason, because I'm thinking too hard about it, it's just not working. So forgive me. Forgive me. Oh, by the way, Jeffrey, I don't know if you noticed this, but basically YouTube took down one of my channels that I uploaded a bunch of videos to today. So that was fun, spending, all of my morning uploading videos, and then getting a random email that I was watching a playlist on that channel, and it just, like, the playlist stopped working. And I was like, oh, why is the playlist stopped working? And then all of a sudden my phone buzzed, and then I checked my computer, and the email was, your channel has been terminated due to multiple guideline violations. So yeah, that was fun. Basically, I think the layout's done. I'm trying to stall here because I'm basically, yeah. I don't want to go on with the painting already, but it looks like we're going to do that. We're going to make it up as we go along. So what do you think? Should I begin with the foreground or the background? I had all of the videos in my fave list, and then they were gone. Wow, YouTube, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah. Well, like I said, guys, I said this on Discord when it happened, that basically it's more annoying that I basically spent all morning and spent all the other time uploading all of that content to their channel. However, you can find all of the videos that are over a minute long on the Pornhub channel. So basically, they're there. I upload all of the stuff that goes onto YouTube has already been through Pornhub. So basically, all of those videos are still online. You can still find them on Pornhub. So yeah, I don't upload anything that's under a minute long. So all of the videos that were under a minute long are not on Pornhub, but they are on my archive here. So I don't know where else to. I don't know how to say that. I just don't upload everything to Pornhub because people get pissy on Pornhub if you basically only upload a very, very short clip and don't give any context to it. And there's no space for you to give context to it. So yeah, it's a bit complicated, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, there's no more of that channel. However, I'm going to leave it quiet for a week because I don't want YouTube to get antsy and start to notice that I'm basically still uploading on YouTube. So basically, I'm gonna go quiet for a little for a week and only do these live streams because these should be okay. But then I'm going to start uploading all the ProfTUBBS videos to either the Daddy Dog Tubs channel or the Fat Daddy Tubs channel instead. So yeah, but everything that's already been on that channel is no longer going to be on that channel. Basically, it's not going to be on any other channels, only because it's a pain in the ass to go through the archive and basically find everything that's been uploaded to one specific channel that hasn't got a name. So all the raw footage is gone. I'm going to re-upload it to the other channels, hopefully. So yeah, everything that has a name is going to be uploaded to something else. It's, like I said, not a huge deal, but still a deal. Oh, and by the way, Pornhub has, I know this is just a general update. This will be crap for anybody that's watching this just for the art stuff, but there you go. Yeah, Pornhub has dropped their, I think I've already mentioned this before somewhere. They've dropped their partnership with, I was going to say Patreon, but their partnership with PayPal. So I'm no longer getting, I will not be able to get paid by Pornhub. So that's a bit of a bummer because they're actually giving me money. They're actually giving me good money. And now, well, yeah. Well, not good money. It's just like, it's still money, It was still nice. Every now and again, like every other week, get $20 from Pornhub. Pretty good, in my opinion. Paid for some stuff, but yeah. It's really annoying that Patreon didn't work for me. But I'm not dwelling on it. I'm trying not to anyway. Especially because they're all great and it was a lot of work to upload them. It was a lot of work to make them. But yeah, it's more annoying. Oh fuck. I lost my trail of thought mid-sentence. What the hell? That's what happens when you read. I have to go for now, guys. About to drive home. Okay. Could you drive here? Please. I can't. Wrong channel. I can't do the goodbye here properly. I've talked about it on my other channels way too much. On this channel, Oh, don't tease. Less than 2 weeks a year is not enough, Itchy. You have to figure something out. Because I'm sad. Yeah, I was going to say try to avoid the frogs tonight. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to lay under. I'm trying to lay low from YouTube for a bit. So yeah, except for this channel and the Bear Tub channel. The live streams are still going to go on. So yeah, I'll still be here when you get home. Probably being very frustrated at paint. But yeah, bye, Itchy. Let me know if you need any help, by the way, with anything else with drawing and stuff. And I will let you go. I will let you know, Itchy, when I'm going to be doing another lesson here. I'm trying to do it once a week. So yeah. And also, you are very, very helpful in basically letting me actually do the lessons. So I do appreciate that. So yeah. Think of something else that you need help with so I can do something else. And maybe even have a plan next time. I don't know why I'm trying to pull that out. It doesn't work. Right, Jeffers. It's just you and me. So what do you think? Foreground or background first? Ordinarily, I would do the foreground first. But since I don't know what the lighting's going to be like on the dog, maybe I should do the background first. So I can figure out lighting. Background. Do the sky, because that's also good for lighting as well. God damn it, I'll do the sky first. Okie dokie, so we've got these two layers. I'm going to save this. Just in case something bad happens. Because it has happened before. There we go, it should saved. So, we've got two layers we've got three layers because we've still got the dog. So, this dog picture, which is adorable, but now it's not, it's completely useless. So that's gone because we've changed the shape of the dog head and we've altered its proportions slightly to fit a actual dog. So basically, that picture is no longer useful there. I'm gonna keep it on here though. I was gonna get rid of the layer, but I might keep it on here just to double check lighting and stuff. Because we're going to change the color of the dog and everything. And yeah. So we've got these two layers. We've got the background and we've got the foreground. Well, we've got the subject. So yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the doogie. We're just going to focus on the sky. Only using paint, no ink, just no ink layer, just using paint. So what I'm going to do, oh, by the way, this is the lesson. I don't know if you can see that, but we were talking about perspective and depth and proportions and stuff. And basically, that's what that is. But yeah, we're going to have another layer. And this is going to be the paint layer, and we've got it above everything. So yeah, so let's do the sky. So what kind of base should we have the sky? Should we go for a blue, an orange? You know, very, very bright, a very, very golden yellow. What they call magic hour. Or should we just go for the traditional blue? What do you think? We could go for exotic. We can try to do purple, but it's just I can't see purple that well. So, blue and orange sounds nice. Okay. A mixture. Interesting. Interesting. Not an option that I gave you, but okay. But no, it's good. It's good. I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm just trying to figure out how, and if I should do it like yeah, like blue in the distance and then orange for up above. Well, the yellow is orange. It's just a very, very, very bright orange. So that's what the yellow was going to be. I keep abusing this pen, but it's not a real pen. It's the sketchpad pen. So it's cool, but it's kind of different. It feels like a real pen. So yeah. Or should we go for kind of like blue on one side? Oh god. And then slowly transitioning into orange. I don't know. What do you think? Or blue at the top and then orange in the distance. So many combinations. Like I said, I want to make it easy on myself, but also at the same time, I kind of want to challenge it. So, yeah. Ow. I had a spot on the back of my neck. I just caught my nail and that hurt. Still to choose from. Well, let's see how it looks. Let's experiment a little bit here. Sky blue. Get big brush. That's very big brush. You know what? So we've got blue. Should I go for a lighter blue? Maybe even a tad lighter. I don't know, that still seems a bit dark to me. That's perfect. So that blue. And then we get the brush. Yeah. And that blue looks good. That's good. Let's go for the big brush. Whoa, that's too big. That's a bit big too. That should do. Trust me, there's method to my madness. Okay, so we've got kind of like 3 different layers. I'm just going to merge them. So I'm learning with you guys. Just merging the layers a little bit. I don't mind about some unevenness. I kind of want the little bit of unevenness. And we're going to put the water in later, so don't worry about that just yet. But I mean, like, that's a good base for the sky, I think. We're going to add lots of clouds. I say lots. I'm probably going to mean one big cloud. It was snowing earlier, but now it's gone a bit wet. Okay, so I was worried about clouds before, but now I'm completely like kind of stymied from the whole idea. Normally I'd use the airbrush tool, but oh god, that was loud. But again, less cartoon. So more painting, less cartoon. So we're actually going to use the brush, but I'm going to use a different nub on the brush. So instead of having like this, we've got just a very soft edge to the brush, as opposed to a hard edge to the brush. I can control the brush nib like this. That one's better actually. I'm going to use that one. So we don't have any hard edges. So we're going to make them. How is this? I like it, but at the same time, it doesn't feel right somehow. Maybe if we decrease the size. Again, I'm just testing things out here. I'm not really actually doing anything. I should have done this on a different layer, to be honest. So that cloud looks a bit more natural, I think. But you get much snow? No, literally just was a few sprinkles and then that was it. Right. I think that looks good. I think that looks good. I'm going to add more details to the actual clouds themselves, but I don't want too many clouds. I kind of want to mix between kind of just that natural kind of like semi-hazy look and the brightness of the sky, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of a mix between two styles of clouds that I've seen in the past. Again, I'm not done yet though. I'm going to use a smaller brush, and we're going to go. So we're going to say that the light source is just kind of over this area, just kind of in the corner. So that means that I need to put the shading on the top left of the clouds that I've actually got here. There's only one problem with this. My screen isn't tilted enough for me to actually see the clouds that I've drawn. They're too subtle, you know. So I just tilted my screen a little bit more so I can see it. So I'm not doing this all the time because that will hurt my neck. And yeah, I'm just going to go over the clouds. Like I said, this is a painting, so this is foreign territory for me. I don't like using paint in general. It's usually too messy, and it takes too long to wait for layers to dry, and just things to be worked out. And but with digital painting, it's a lot easier to actually do this. And I've attempted to try paints in the past, but it just never worked out as nice as I wanted them to. work out. So, but that was a while ago, not using this app. So I'm gonna do my best this time on this particular painting to actually try to learn by doing, you know. Also help anybody else that's maybe having trouble getting into the whole digital art thing. Because if you're an artist and you basically are struggling a bit with getting to know like digital art programs, then if I can do it, then you can do it. I'm useless at normal painting and digital painting. It's a bit too much oomph here. Yeah, I really excel at kind of like cartoony stuff with basic illustrations. Well, not basic illustrations. I'm going to give myself some credit. I do know what I'm doing most of the time. But I'm finding that I'm excelling at, while I'm doing this right now, is what's called speed painting. That's where you get basically. I'm finding that just very tiny adjustments to my pressure on the pad, and just very quick like adjustments to the actual brush itself as I'm poking it is actually working out incredibly well. It's kind of a lot better than I was expecting it to be. And we're just going around the edges, like I said, the top left edges of the clouds, and just giving them some definition in the sky. Kind of like with shading. But shading with clouds. It's a little bit romantic, really, if you think about it. Now, the good thing about the brush is it's actually kind of, if you push slightly on the brush, then it will actually just smudge what you've got on there already. Seriously, everybody wants to talk to me when I'm busy. I got nothing when I was bored earlier. But now that I'm doing something, Jesus, everybody wants to talk to me. Yeah, when I'm very lightly pressing on the pen, it basically is just smudging. Let me just see if I can give an example here, because we're going to do this later. But if I push hard, then you end up with kind of like solid color, and with this particular nib, it's kind of the edges are less defined and stuff. But if I push lightly, then I can kind of just smudge the edges, make it a little bit less defined. So it just looks like a smear. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making tiny adjustments to, and I'm pushing harder, and I'm smudging it around the cloud itself to make it just give it that more organic kind of feel instead of having defined edges all the time. I've missed a bit here. To make it just a little bit less cartoony, I'm going to add a little cloud in the background here. Just kind of on the horizon. Should we actually put clouds in the horizon? Or is that a bit too ambitious? Clouds are great. I love the speed you drew on your program at the side. Yes. Well, like I said, I'm going to be drawing that as an art kind of like thing as part of the art competition. Like on the horizon line, should I actually put? I just realised I'm not in frame. Should I actually put clouds, or is that too much? Am I pushing my luck a little bit here? Should I just be happy with that? Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll compromise and we'll have just like dotted clouds in the distance, just to make it just a little bit more, adding depth. Yeah, so they kind of just fade. They're gonna just fade out. So it's not too much, and so that corner didn't look right. Um, yeah, I feel like any more would be overkill, especially if I'm gonna have a very dark sea, so just to contrast the sky a little bit. Plus, I think it'll make the sky really pop and the light kind of more dramatic, I think. So yeah. So now that the sky's done, I'm gonna save. Save. Okay, so it looks good. That's good. I'm glad you think so. Right. So what I want is a straight line, but at the same time, I know I can't do that here. You can only do that on a pen layer. Okay, so blue. Let's go with the blues. Now I've already got this beautiful orange and yellow kind of color, and I kind of want to keep that. So what I'm going to do instead of just erasing it is I'm going to go, and this will take probably a while. I'm going to actually basically do this. Lots. But with a finer brush. So first up one side, then the other side. So yeah, it's going to be a while. Yeah. I'm also going to go with a slightly more blue. I don't know, it doesn't feel dark enough. Yeah. I'm also going to lower the brush size, and then I'm going to get it increasingly larger. Okay. Remember what I said about horizontal lines? It's very hard to do that here on the pad. So I'm actually going to rotate this and then do it this way. First going down one side, and then I'm going to go down the other side. So this requires a bit of concentration, so I might be a bit mute. I do already see the problem that this isn't a completely straight line, but trust me. Plus, the dog's going to be in the way of some of it, so it's going to split it up a little bit. Hopefully, you won't notice it by the time it's done. But how straight is this line? Pretty straight. Right. That's the whole layer. There we go. You know, I could rotate it. Yeah, I can. It's actually I programmed the keypad to actually do that. Because I'm smarty. I'm smarty pain. God, so my wrist sounds like a printer right now. Just going because I'm actually pressing down quite hard so I can get this blue to not smudge so much. Okay, and now I don't think I need to rotate it, to be honest. Oh, son of a bitch! there's a quick key for the straight lines. Oh, god damn it! I could have used that all along. Okay, slightly bigger nub, and I can bring back the guide again. I'm hoping this pays off because having to hit the back key for this many strokes is going to be a pain in the butt. But yeah. You're enjoying watching it? Well, okay. As long as you're enjoying it, dude. I don't want to be, you know that. I thought you could only do straight lines in pen mode. See, this is the advantages of learning it this way, and we learn it together. Okay, and slightly bigger brush. I'm going to rotate it again just to get a more consistent feel. But no, this is looking good, and I'm doubling up each time. I'm going to do this until we get to the shore. Until to the end point. You know what I mean? Now what I mean? Now what I mean? Yeah, yes. So I think I missed something. It's actually looking pretty good. It actually looks like water, and painted water as well. I might even save this as a separate layer for a background at some stage. I'll definitely save the source files for this picture. My poor trackpad. Because you said you were learning it together, and that's why I said yay. Oh, okay. See, context, people. I forgot the context. That's my bad. But yeah, I mean, it's looking like water. Everything's going great so far. I've got a feeling there's going to be some kind of bullshit happening. Oh, I've got to rotate again. Yeah, but the rotate, I set it to rotate because it's just really handy, especially if, like I said, horizontal lines are difficult to do first place, and with the trackpad, impossible, because I can't just rotate the paper because there is no paper. There's just the trackpad, and rotating the trackpad and seeing your drawing happening on this side, like this, on the screen, it's not the same, and it feels very janky, like very janky, like so janky. So, yeah, rather than have that experience, I decided to just program this trackpad to have one of the quick keys, basically, so I can hit the quick key and it rotates the paper. I'm pretty sure I have demonstrated this in the past, but I might just be, I was going to say, you might be remembering it wrong, huh, Jeff? But I was like, no, don't insult Jeffrey. You're good. Like, but I'm pretty sure I have demonstrated that before. Not certain, but I'm pretty sure. I may have just discovered a way to do this super fast. Even faster. Problem is, I don't want to get lazy doing this, so I am going to just resort to the again. It does look very, very golden water. It's nice. It's looking great. Well, almost done. And after I've done this, I think I'm going to have to run away. Because I'm actually fading. I can feel my eyes kind of doing the thing. What's really irritating is that the grass that I've got here is being slightly kind of like overshadowed by the water. I'm trying not to do that so much because I don't want to. I want to be able to see my lines, but even with them being on the layer on top, it's kind of iffy that you can see them or not. So we've got lines here, for example, and if I do this, they're a little hard to see. But I think I might have an idea to maybe do a separate layer for the grass and then basically just overimpose it, because that's the background and that's the foreground, so it would make sense, wouldn't it? To have a separate layer. Increase the nib size one last time, and I'm going to just fill in this last bit here. It may look like I'm being super sketchy and doing this super quick, but trust me, I know you trust me. Aha, okay. Now, What do you think? Let me just save that real quick. Does that look good enough? If anything, some of the pen strokes actually make it look like you can actually see the clouds. Oh, let me just do this real quick. There we go. That way you don't have the horizon line. The fake horizon line, because we've just put in the new horizon line. So you think that looks good? You're saying you love it, so I'm hoping that's a positive. Hoping. Yeah. Right, so now that that's saved, then basically, I basically just want to show you this. Now, I can see it slightly better, but can you make out the detail that's the cliff edge and stuff from this picture? Because I'm struggling here. A little. You can see all the detail on the cliff itself from the sketches and stuff, but the actual background, you know, the edges of the cliff itself, just from where I blended it in, I was going to do all of this in one layer, the background and the foreground. And the subject, of course, is the dog, and that's basically going to be a different thing on a different layer anyway. So I'm thinking I should do a separate layer for the background and the foreground. So that means I can do this. Because when I do this, it means that I can put another layer in here, do the all the grass and all the texturing for the actual cliff edge, and the cliff itself. Oh, excuse me. And the cliff itself, without having to worry about it being drowned out by all of the background color. And then when it's done, I can actually put the layer of the cliff over the layer of the paint, of the background paint. And it will look good, hopefully. But do you think I need to do anything to the sea and the sky? Do you think that's good? Do you think I'm all sorted? I don't have to touch that up. See, I told you there was a method to my madness when I was doing all the painting of the yellow and actually making it go into the sea line, and to have the sky and stuff color be very, very clear. You know, that sounds great. Okay, then. Oh, good. Stop yawning. I'm not that tired. I am tired, but I'm not that tired. Okay, then. So that concludes the lesson for this week, then. So what have we done today? Well, we covered we did perspective and proportions and covered them in depth a little bit, and I mean the subject depth. So hopefully that helps. And if you're watching this on the end, then I will just say go back to about the middle of this video and you'll be able to find me explaining all of this process on how to actually do this. And I've got something in my eye. I'm going to keep this layer because I'm going to probably erase that for the next lesson. We finished off the detail on the subject itself and basically figured out where all of the paint strokes are going to go and what detail I'm going to be doing for the individual lines that we see on the wings itself. And some of the color, we also figured out where that's going to go to. Excuse me. This is so annoying. So yeah. But I'm going to let you guys, probably you, just you, Jeff, pick out the color of the dog and stuff next time, because you know it's basically got all of the natural colors that you can think of, plus there's also a little bit of a chance, not a great big chance, but there's also a little bit of a chance that these animals in particular can even have a green color to them. I don't know how that's going to look when it's in contrast to the grass, because I also might leave that up to you as well as to if we're going to pick green grass, or if we're going to pick slightly dried out grass, so it's going to be slightly golden color maybe. But yeah, so we did that. We completed the background detail as well. We just hide him. We completed the background detail and exactly where everything's going to go for the background. That's all the detail we needed because we did the sky separately. Yeah, we did this. We picked out what we're going to do for the details on the sky. It's very easy. Oh my god! I thought that was going to be one of the hardest parts, doing the sky and the clouds, but we learned that it's not as much of a struggle as we was expecting. So there's that. It's not hard to do the sky. I thought it was going to be super difficult to do the sky, but it wasn't that hard to do the sky because honestly I thought that was going to take a lot longer than it did. So we come to the painting itself, and as you can see, the sky wasn't that big of a deal. It looks good. I'm happy with it. It actually looks like a painted sky. So yeah, very happy with it. We did do a bit of a cheat on the water. Instead of doing lots of different shades and lots of different using lots of different kinds of paint, I just used one pigment to do individual lines, and I used the brush, a very small brush for the distance to make it look like the waves or the lines get larger as they come closer to the the viewer, us, here in the foreground. And basically I just increased the brush size as I went closer so that it made it look further away, and I think it's slightly effective. However, it's not as effective as I was hoping it was going to be. It doesn't look like that much of a change, but then again, at the end of the when the painting is completed, I think that might actually be advantage, be to our advantage, because you don't want to make it seem like if I did it any differently, I've got a feeling that if I drastically upped the scale of the brush as we got closer, then it would look like the waves at any moment were going to catch the edge of the cliff. And I don't want that, because basically I want to give the impression that this cliff is actually very high up above the sea, so that basically those are the waves, those are the ripples of the water of the sea, and they are quite far away because they're quite small. Well, they appear to be quite small. So the further they are away, the higher up this cliff edge is going to be. And well, I wanted to give it the appearance of being like a a grand avian animal. So it's kind of, it's appropriate that it is high up on a cliff. So yeah, so water also not that big of a deal, wasn't that much of a struggle, and I could always change it in the end if I wanted to anyway. Also alternating the brush strokes between going down one side or going across one side, and then going to the opposite side actually gives it that more layered look to it. It gives it that more texture, and it blends in very well with the other layers. Because, as I said, the brush itself gets progressively larger in size as you come closer to the foreground. So it kind of blends in very well with each other, and also gives this effect of it not all being from one stroke side. So alternating the canvas, I think it works very well. I mean, it's slightly less alternated, of course, as you get closer to the screen, to the foreground, and it is noticeable, but I think that's more to do with the color than it is the actual brush strokes itself. So yeah. And that's what we learned today. Next week we'll be learning how to do textures of grass, and also doing different colors of grass, and seeing how they interact with an invisible subject, because essentially I'm not putting the subject in, I'm not doing the subject until the very last moment. So next week we're going to learn about how to cast phantom shadows and stuff, which will be interesting. So we'll actually be learning about like organic textures and shading, basically, and shadows and shading. It's going to be interesting to do that with just paint instead of doing an outline of where the shadow and the shading is going to be, because I'm not going to do that in a separate layer for the outline like I normally do. So yeah, I think that we came pretty far. I'm actually a bit worried that I'm going to just breeze through the next couple of lessons super quick, and we're not actually going to get a chance to do all of the super fine detail. But who knows? We'll figure this out later. So, by the way, Jeffers, for all of that tech talk on how to paint, but hopefully maybe you understood like a bunch of that, So yeah, I do have a random, once I get in the flow of doing the teaching side of stuff, then I do end up basically rambling on about how to do things, because I don't know if you get this, but when you teach to a large group of students, then it helps to basically slightly ramble, I guess, because then it helps get, like, I was going to say the kids, it helps get the students engaged a bit more, so that basically you don't break your own rhythm, means that you don't break their rhythm of concentration at the same time. And I don't have to pause for questions, so that's also nice, yeah. So cool. So we'll do that next week. If anybody has any questions for me, then basically just leave them in the comments below. I do read all of them. There's not been any yet, so questions, that is, Jeff. I know you've left a couple of comments, but yeah. If anybody has any questions or any ideas for topics, or want to basically do, put in the lesson plan for next week, then like I said, leave them in the comments below, and yeah, I will think of something that will hopefully help. But until then, we're going to continue learning on how to use this particular drawing pad application on the computer, and so far it's been pretty fun. It's been very, what Jeff said just now, been very enjoyable to do this and to figure this out. I'm glad that I didn't just kind of like cop out and basically do a semi-cartoony kind of like background like I was about to, and actually tried to take the time to figure out how to do the clouds right and stuff. So yeah, I was going to do a reflective kind of like thing with the clouds and the water, but I decided against that because the lighting itself is actually doing a very good job at being the reflective element here. It doesn't really need it. So yeah. So just closing thoughts. Just thinking. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you next week on this channel anyway. But yeah, I will be back on ProfTUBBS. For anybody that's just a fan of mine, I will be back on ProfTUBBS on Sunday, and we'll be talking about just how the week went. And yeah. But until then, I will be offline on YouTube anyway. So thank you so much, Jeffers, and thank you so much, Itchy. Even though he's not here, he might watch this on playback and see this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me and for keeping me company and keeping me sane while I did this, because talking helped. Talking helped so much. So yeah. This eye's just shut down now. Oh, what were you? Oh, good. And good night. I'll see you soon, Jeffers, on Sunday. Hopefully. So yeah. I don't really have a sign out or anything. You know, a goodbye sign out kind of thing. I guess that was like the half salute kind of thing. But yeah. Yeah. See you next week. I'll wait for Jeffers to say goodbye. It's been a while since I just waited for people to say goodbye. Normally I do the belly rubs and belly salute thing, and then basically I just end the stream just recently. But no, I'll wait for the goodbye. There you go. Night, Jeff.